Alright, what's up y'all? So this is ATW the Warrior here, aka your MLF champion. I'm just gonna showcase some of my basic MLF moves. Super kick, Superman punch. Don't worry, we won't be doing a spear here, that's for sure. But just some of the basic, signature moves, or some basic hits and stuff. That's what I'm gonna do right here. So the first one I'm going to demonstrate, this one's my favorite one, it's called the super kick. What you want to do is you want to actually try and position it towards like right under the chin, or like right up here on the chest, like at the upper chest, or like the upper, the chin of the wrestler, regardless of how tall they are. I mean, obviously if they're like 6'7", 6'8", like you just kick them on the chest. But usually I try and kick them towards the jaw, so like around right here. So that's like maybe equivalent to kicking somebody who's maybe like 5'9", 5'11", probably, maybe a little more or so less. Yeah, so that is basically the super kick. Part 2 on the punches. Alright y'all, it's part 2. And it's another good one I like to use, especially in the beginnings of like all of my matches where like, like for example, at Cashback it was me and Ken, right? And we were just doing like this, like trading blows. So like, that's done basically. In the match, you're basically gonna do like a lighter medium punch. You don't have to like go super quick, but try your best to keep the pace of the other guy too, whoever that opponent may be, small or big. So now let's just go to like basic punches. So here's like another one I really love. It's not like the best, but it's good when you're like, you could use this one for a lot of things. My favorite way to use it is if someone jumps from the top rope and they think you're like, on the ground. If you're small enough and light enough and you're lean enough, you could just jump up and Superman punch them. And yes, it is the Superman punch. Let me just show you how that's done. So you want to like position right over here. Well, let's just say, for example, I don't know, the dummy hit me. Use that leverage and basically Superman punch them. Let me demonstrate with that one more time. Yeah, so you could basically just go kind of over their head and just punch them like an overhead punch pretty much, but your hand's not over your head, so like your opponent's down here, you jump up in the air and you just do that. You punch them from above, basically. So yeah, a lot of wrestlers use that move. Roman Reigns. And there are a couple others I think that have used that move as well, but it's a very popular wrestling move. Just wanted to show you all that. And then here's like another good one, like if your wrestler basically puts you in a nasty situation, like let me try and pick a scenario. So like your wrestler just stuns you with a kick, right? He brings you up like this, or does whatever move, I'm just going to demonstrate the TPC position. Then you're going to so that's like, more like a counter kind of move. So you can use that like to your advantage if, like, let's just say like at Summer Bummer Run, Kobe tries to pile drive me or like DDT me, and that's like a good way to use that counter, or really just any move like that, honestly, that, you know, could probably give you a good kill. Just try and counter it, and, you know, try and free yourself with your leg like this. If you can't do that, you could try and do a punch variation too, like, for example, he has you like right here, set up for whatever, I don't know. Yeah, so that's basically that. There are like a bunch of different ways you can do it. That second one is probably my favorite, to be honest, but, you know, yeah, you could just go based off of, like, you know, really any counter will work. It really just depends on your character and whatnot. Anyway, I don't even know what part we're on, but part whatever. And then, like, another kick you could probably use if you're, like, a lot taller, like, if you're a lot taller than your other opponent, and, you know, you feel like the super kick, you're too lazy for that, there's another good one for you guys. So, like, instead of doing, you know, a regular super kick, you kind of want to make yourself a little bit of distance. This is going to be hard because I'm a heavyweight, but I'll try. So this one is basically more like a boot. Yeah. So if you're like really tall or whatever, you can kind of hit them in the face with that. If you're short, it's probably going to be a little more difficult. Like, but for example, like your opponent's 6'3", 6'4", and you're like, I don't know, like 5'10", maybe 5'11". It's going to be a little more difficult. So at that height, I'd probably just stick with the kick. But if you're like someone taller, you can probably try and use the boot to your advantage. Especially if you have good mobility in your legs. I don't have the best mobility, but I do have the best strength. But, you know, that's something to work on. But yeah, all the wrestlers with more mobility could probably use the boot. It's a good move. I've used it before when it was a little bit lighter. If I have like a taller opponent, I'll tend to use the kick more. But yeah, I think this is probably going to like part 7, part 8 maybe? I don't remember. So yeah, that's basically like, you know, all of the, well, not all of them. I mean, I can't really demonstrate all of them here, you know, my gym, because like the gym is not a wrestling ring, so there's not really a whole lot more I could do. But yeah, the super kicks, the punches, you know, the counters, those are good regardless of your height or whatever. If you have more height, I would lean more towards like, you know, the Superman punch, you know, a boot to the head, like, you know, what I just demonstrated here. Like, I can't lift my leg all the way up. But yeah, you could do that too. So yeah, I guess just, I don't know, just kind of just do what's your character, you know? I mean, if you develop a wrestling character that's good with, you know, like more flexible finishers or signatures, then that's good. But personally, I think my signature, you know, because I'm ATW, of course, I usually either like to go with the impaler, you know, the impaler, as MOF says it, which is basically a form of a DDT, and then also the spear too, because the spear is a really effective one, and you know, it's got me a lot of wins on MOF, so the spear is a good one too. And you know, if you can kick hard enough, you could probably use some sort of kick as your like finisher move. Like for example, you know, like Shawn Michaels does like the sweet chin music. It's like a really hard super kick, basically. It's like a finisher kind of. But unless you're doing that, then you know, I think the impaler and the spear. You could probably do like a stunner or an RKO or something like that. Those are good finishers too. I've done the stunner before, and it's a really good one as well. But yeah, now you just get to watch me perform all of them.